You're looking at the highly anticipated 2026 Razr lineup. These phones have generated massive hype, and visually, it's easy to see why. But beneath that slick exterior, this entire lineup is dealing with an industry-wide memory crisis. Buyers are getting hit with a frustrating, invisible shrinkflation tax. This split-screen table breaks down exactly how that tax works. On the left side, you can see retail prices climbing by $100 to $200 across the board. On the right, foundational hardware, like the processor and storage capacity, is either completely stagnant or actively dropping. Take the entry-level 2026 Razr. You're paying $799, but you're only getting 128 gigabytes of base storage. Last year, the standard was double that. Move up to the mid-tier Razr Plus, and the price jumps from $999 to $1,099. For that extra money, Motorola is still using a Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 chipset, silicon that is officially 2 years old. So the obvious question becomes, do the visible, external upgrades make up for those hidden compromises? Answering that comes down to testing your personal priorities as a buyer. You have to decide if you care more about raw specs or pure style. On paper, you are paying a 2026 premium for 2024 performance. That makes this generation a highly specific lifestyle purchase, not a universal hardware upgrade. Let's look at the hardware changes Motorola actually delivered, starting with the cameras on the mid-tier Razr Plus. They completely removed the 50-megapixel 2x telephoto lens from the previous generation. In its place, they swapped in a brand new 50-megapixel ultrawide sensor. This split screen shows the daily trade-off. You gain the ability to shoot expansive landscapes and fit everyone into a tight indoor group shot. But you lose optical zoom for portraits, meaning you have to rely on a pixelated, degrading digital crop to get close to your subject. Inside the phones, Motorola completely overhauled the battery architecture, shifting the entire lineup to silicon-carbon batteries. This schematic shows the practical advantage. Across all models, capacity increases by 300 to 500 milliamp hours. That is a massive engineering win. They packed in all that extra power without adding a millimeter of thickness or an ounce of weight. The entry-level Razr also gets a durability bump, earning a MIL STD 810H rating to survive extreme temperatures and drops. Even if they don't offset the outdated processors, these practical upgrades directly reduce the battery anxiety that usually comes with foldables, drastically improving how the phone survives a normal day. Then there is the flagship of the lineup, the Razr Ultra, and its staggering $1,499 price tag. Here is the harsh reality. You are paying $200 more than last year for the exact same Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset and the exact same 16 gigabytes of RAM. But the Ultra's redemption, and its entire selling point, is its physical design. The tactile feel of this device is unmatched by anything else on the market. Motorola brought back the premium wood finish back panel and introduced a completely new, suede-like Alcantara option in a deep orient blue. Structurally, the inner screen now hits a blinding 5,000 nits of brightness, and the outer display is protected by Gorilla Glass Ceramic 3 to better handle drops. The main camera also gets a new 50-megapixel sensor featuring low-fic technology, which claims to push out significantly better high dynamic range performance. They even added a frame match software feature. You set up a shot, hand the phone to a stranger, and an overlay guides them to perfectly match the composition you wanted. When folded at 90 degrees, it activates a camcorder video mode. The gyro sensor automatically tracks the horizon and stabilizes horizontal panning in real time. Ultimately, the Ultra represents a heavy luxury tax. You are deliberately abandoning the pursuit of computing leaps to pay a massive premium purely for high fashion, premium materials, and a brighter screen. The economic realities of the supply chain are undeniable, but so is the aesthetic triumph of the 2026 Razr lineup. This decision tree breaks down exactly what you should do based on what drives your purchasing choices. If you are a spec sheet optimizer who prioritizes processing power, heavy gaming, and getting the maximum gigabytes for your dollar, avoid the 2026 line entirely. The shrinkflation tax makes these phones a genuinely poor long-term investment. If you are a practical upgrader who just wants a functional flip phone without emptying your wallet, skip the new models and buy a discounted 2025 Razr. The minor upgrades don't justify the premium. But if you are an aesthetics-first buyer who cares deeply about device feel and tactile presence over benchmarks, the $1,499 Razr Ultra actually justifies its price tag through its physical presence alone. As long as you accept you're paying for high fashion rather than high performance, the Motorola Razr remains the best-looking foldable phone on the market.